Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. So as you can tell, the setup is a little different. I am out of the country at this moment. So we're going to begin with Aries weekly reading for the week of August 23rd to the 29th. So let's go ahead and see, what do we have for Aries? Yeah, my wine glass is a little smaller this week too. And no, Aries, I'm not trying to cheat you or anybody else out of anything. It's just kind of the way that it worked out. But there is definitely this sense of, I don't know, when I was setting up for you guys, there was this energy of almost wanting something to be over, wanting a certain period or season to be over. Whether it is that, you see, this is the thing, it kind of gets a little tricky. For some of you, it's not so much that you guys are having like huge financial issues, so it's not so much like that you're in huge debt or anything like that. It's more of like this waiting of like, it's almost like, when is it going to be my turn? Like, when is my success going to come in? When is it going to be your turn to shine? So it's almost like you're seeing, you're trying to be a good team player, because you're trying to celebrate, you're trying to be there, you're trying to support all of those that are having success around you. But there's almost like this thing like, okay, you've been feeling this energy of like, it's almost your time, right? Like it's coming, right? But it's like, it hasn't gotten here yet. So you're almost kind of like, okay, spirit, God, universe, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, you're like, okay, is it this week? Is it this week? Is it this week? Because there is this anticipation building that something huge is coming in, but it has yet to arrive. So you've been in this waiting area, because I don't want to stay stagnant, because honestly, there is an energy of, whether it is that you're seeing results or not, you're still moving forward. So it's more of this space of like, okay, waiting for something to come in, waiting for something to pay off, waiting for something to finally blossom, right? And it's like the energy continues to intensify, but you're not hitting that peak level that you're searching, right? So if you know, and it doesn't necessarily have to just be in finances or business. This can also be in relationships, right? Maybe you're waiting on somebody to go ahead and make a commitment or propose or something like that. It's almost like you're like, okay, you're feeling like you've waited long enough for like your happily ever after, or for your next level. That's so funny. So it's almost like, when when you're climbing up, right? You're climbing up a ladder, or stairs, or whatever it may be, and like, let's say if you're going up to like the 5th floor or something like that, you know where you're headed, right? You know that once you hit that level, you're there. But it's like you're climbing and you're climbing and you're climbing and you're climbing, and your floor seems to never get there. And it's almost like, okay, I can go one more floor. Like, I'm gonna give it everything that I have, but am I gonna reach that level? So it's kind of like that energy that I'm picking up with you guys. Really working towards something, but also almost needing some type of reward or some type of hint that you are in the right direction. So needing that confirmation that what you are doing, or what you have been investing your time and your energy in, is something, is aligned with your path. Because it's really like, some of you are in a space where you're kind of like almost even questioning, like, okay, is this really like what I'm supposed to be doing, or where I'm supposed to be spending my time, or who I'm supposed to be with, or who I'm supposed to be spending my time with? Because even though, and this is what I want to say, even though you don't see the progress, even though you don't see how far you've actually come, either within a certain situation, or how far you've come within a certain relationship, there has been a lot of little hints. The thing is that you're focused more on the end goal of things and are not realizing the little blessings within the journey that you have actually acquired, right? So it's almost like your mind is playing games on you, wanting you to give up on something when it's within grasp, right? So usually when when you're very close to a certain goal or to a certain accomplish, things intensify, right? They get to a place where you start to question, like, okay, is this even right? Is this even, is this even going to work out? And it's almost like your mind is playing a game on you to like almost quit when you're right there about to receive your blessings. So one of the things with me, I am not a big runner, right? And I'm not ashamed to say it because I like other types of workout. But whenever I set myself to let's say run or jog or whatever, and I give myself, I usually do it based on goals, right? So like I want to run a mile in a certain amount of time. So I have to push my body to a certain level. And usually I'll have the timer on the treadmill, right? When I'm at the gym. And it's like when I have like 10 minutes or whatever left, I'm okay. I'm going. But when I'm getting to like those last 3 minutes, I'll start with these mind games where I'm like, well, you already, you got 3 minutes left. You can walk the rest of the time. Like, you can do it tomorrow. You can do it tomorrow. And then it's like, I have to kind of like almost stop myself. Like, no, you can finish like the last 3 minutes running at the same pace. And so it's almost like this dialogue that develops within your mind back and forth. Like, give up, and it's like, no, you need to keep pushing through. It's like, no, give up. It's like, and it's like it's almost like that sense of like those last couple of minutes or seconds that you're trying to push through something, where it becomes the most difficult, where you start to question whether it is that you can see it through, whether it is that you can continue on going. And I'm here to basically, in lack of better words, tell you not to give up, tell you to continue on pushing through, especially if you're working on some type of project or you're trying to purchase something, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, or that you've been working on for like the last couple of months or whatever. It's like, don't give up, because it's like your time is here and you're way closer than so there is no need to kind of doubt or question the process, right? This has definitely the waiting period, right? The working or the investing in something without immediate results has been a huge lesson for you, because it's something that is almost programmed. Like, when, let's say, if you start a new job, you normally don't get paid the first pay period, right? You normally get paid the following pay period, depending on where you work, right? But it's almost like that type of thing. Like, with everything in life, you have to invest and you have to put your heart into everything that you do, right? And sometimes you may not see the results or the rewards at that moment in time, right? Like, it's not always instant, especially depending on what you're doing. And it's also, it's not a punishment, guys. So I don't want you to think that you're being punished. I don't want you to think that you're not worthy or anything like that. There are just certain things that take time, and in the process of it, what we're supposed to be learning is patience, and it's timing. Knowing the timing is everything. The timing is going to come, like, things are going to come in when it is that they are most needed, right? And because if you do something and you get instant reward, right? What tends to happen is that work ethic, or that ethic of actually pursuing and actually going after your things, will soon kind of diminish, because then you're not prepping for anything, right? So if you just wake up one day, I'm gonna run a freaking marathon, and you go ahead and you run a marathon with no problem, with no training or anything like that, then you become complacent to that energy of everything is so damn easy, right? There is no working towards anything. And how much fulfillment do you actually get from that, right? And we're not talking here about people's talents, right? We have people that are physically like gifted, that are, that are gifted in many different ways, right? Musically and all of this stuff. But even those people that are gifted, if they do not apply themselves, right? So if you're gifted at playing the piano, but you don't apply yourself, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not trying to, or you're not passionate about it, that gift is wasted, right? So it's almost kind of looking at life, or this situation, or this waiting period for you from that perspective. Well, guys, that is all that I have. No, that's not all I have for you. Alrighty, guys, so now we're going to pull out 3 oracle cards. Now, these can be confirmations to the reading, confirmation to something that's not in the reading that you are inquiring about, or simply your advice for this week. So it's pretty interesting that the cards that you got, because it's almost like, are you doing this because you're passionate about it? Are you going after this because you feel that it's part of your purpose? Or are you doing this because you want some type of attention, or because you want just the financial gain within it? Or do you want just the title, right? Without having to do the work? It's kind of like the question that is being asked at this moment in time. Now, by saying that, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the title or with financial gain, but is that your sole purpose when it comes to this situation, is the question. So your first card is the number 19, the sacred union. So you are in alignment. You are in alignment with what your life purpose is. It's almost like you're right there, but it's almost like you can't see it. You can't see how close you are to something. Then we have the hand of Fatima, which is the number 43. So again, regardless of what your situation looks like at this moment in time, this is I want to keep on saying this is safe, this is sacred, this is it is blessed, it is being divinely guided, and the only thing that is required from you is to let go of that control as to when it is that you're gonna reach. Because it reminds me of something, but it's like, okay, when you're going to reach that final destination within this situation. And then we have let love transform you with the number 14. So instead of focusing when it is that something is going to finally gonna reach its peak or whatever for you, instead focus that energy on the passion and the love that you have for whatever it is that you're trying to build, for whatever it is that you are investing your time in. And trust me, it's like, while you are immersed within that energy of really being passionate and really giving 100% to the situation, you receive that blessing, you receive that final destination that you're looking for. And it's almost like you don't even realize it, because you're so into the energy of like how much you love and how passionate you are about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, or whether if it's in a relationship, it's like stop going into things with specific agendas, because you're not okay. So You're going in with very specific agendas for specific things, and that's okay. But allow yourself to be flexible within the the path to it, because as you're walking or as you're going towards something, there's a lot of beautiful little things that you were unaware of. There are a lot of beautiful little things that you will miss if your entire focus is so much on that specific goal. So you know how people normally have this issue where they carry their past around with them, right? Into the present moment, and they just can't let go. You're doing the opposite. You're carrying the future, and it's becoming very heavy because all you're focusing on is the end goal of something. So you're failing to live in the present moment. So it is beautiful and it's amazing to plan for the future, but also remember that at this moment in time, you are here, you are in the present, and you don't want to miss out on all the beauty and all the amazing things that are happening for you right now, right? Because where you are right now is where you wish you were 4 or 5 years ago. So if you're always focusing on where it is that you want to go, you miss where it is that you've been when it comes to that part of growth that a lot of people tend to not realize. It's something that cannot be rushed. It's something that cannot be rushed. It is something that for a lot of you, patience is the main thing that is being taught. And believe me, I know what it is to be in that space of waiting, and when people are constantly telling you like, yo, you gotta be patient, you gotta be patient, you gotta be patient, um and you're just kind of like, seriously, like, have I not been patient enough? But it's almost like there's a switch and you kind of just be like, you know what, let me just enjoy where it is that I am right now. Because if I speak out of my mouth saying that I have faith in something, or that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or where it is that I'm heading, right? Whether it is, in your finances, in your business, in your career, at work, or whatever it is, when you release that hold, right? Then everything starts pouring in, and more than what you expected, more than what you could have imagined, actually comes in for you. So don't rob yourself of the experience of the now, of the present time, because you're so overly focused on where it is that you're going or where it is that you're headed. So in order to get to that point, there are things that you have to experience and that you have to see and that you have to feel and that you have to live, in that sense, in order to get you to that destination. Because a lot of people want certain things, but they do not realize, or they're unable to see all the little things behind it that it takes to accomplish something. And that's kind of like where your energy is at. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you for this week. As always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you to all of those that have been donating. It is greatly appreciated. And if you have not liked, share, or subscribed, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Mwah. Love you all. Bye-bye.